The home of the common Joe and the common Sally in the know, even more so than all those media talking heads. The more I try to give you guys variety, the more Oklahoma and Brent Venables pushes himself into the limelight in recruiting. Once again, they went out and got a skill position player, those skill position offensive players that Brent Venables, because of his defensive guru-ness, was supposedly not going to be able to get. But it's been done again. And it's been done again at the expense of those skittle shitters in LA. Let's talk about it. Woo! Well, here we go again. Another great recruiting get by the University of Oklahoma, or Oklahoma University. I might have said it backwards. They might get pissed off at me. You know how some of these universities are. Even the University of Alabama don't like you to call them Alabama University, as Texas A&M seems to do a lot of. But that's neither here nor there, class, because today what we're going to talk about is yet another great skill position player that Brent Venables and Jeff Lebby have went out and got. His name is Jaquaize Pettaway. Pretty much list here. Another good list, that is. Jaquaize Pettaway. Four-star from Texas. And that narrative of Oklahoma's not going to be able to recruit Texas anymore because of Steve Sarkisian, because of Jimbo Fisher, because of Lincoln Riley's lingering connections. Like I said in my last video, that shit's been shot to hell. Four-star wide receiver Jaquaize Pettaway from Langham Creek out of Houston, Texas. High school. 5'11", 170. The height's not quite where Jeff Lebby wants it to be, as my podcast partner Jonathan Lewis pointed out in his podcast as well on this subject. Check that out, College Football with Jonathan Lewis. He has 100-meter times of 10.5 or less. That's smoking right there, man. That's almost at the speed of sound, ain't it? He's going to pop some damn eardrums or some shit going that fast when he goes running down the field against the team that he chose Oklahoma over. His top two were Oklahoma and Texas, by the way. That should make a lot of Oklahoma Sooner fans very happy. He had 105 receptions for 1,798 yards, 16 touchdowns, and 17.1 yards per catch. He gets to top-end speed. This is coming from 247 Sports, by the way. Their guy give me a rundown on this. He gets to the top-end speed quickly. Excellent run after the catch ability. Beats you with linear speed and acceleration after the catch. And what's that speak of? That speaks of being able to get the ball down the field in a hurry. It speaks of possibly moving up into a 5-star status before his actual signing date. It says right here, projects to move to a 5-star because of ability to stretch the field. Now, he chose Oklahoma over Texas head-to-head. That was his last two, as I said. But he also had considered Baylor, Ohio State. Can I get a skittle shitter drum roll here? USC. He chose them over those skittle shitters once again. It seems like Lincoln Riley, while he's getting his fair share of recruits, he's losing out on some key recruits that he really wanted, especially on the offensive line side of the ball. You see, the problem with, and I hate to get off subject here, but because, I really like doing this whole comparison thing with USC. The whole USC-Oklahoma comparison thing is a real good hot topic for me because I love and enjoy prodding old Lincoln Riley because, my feelings towards him as about how he left his situation in Oklahoma. But if Lincoln doesn't pick it up pretty soon in the other areas of football, like the offensive line, linebackers, and that kind of stuff, he can have all the skill position players he wants. But if you don't have blocking, and you don't have a modicum of a defense that can hold somebody to at least. And the big thing he's been missing out is on offensive linemen. Here's a list of the offensive linemen he's missed out on. And all these are 4 or 5-star offensive linemen that USC had expended a lot of recruiting time on. So don't let them fool you in thinking that, oh, these are just guys we really want. Because it's all horseshit. Josh Connolly was the first miss. And he was a 5-star offensive lineman. Not only did he not go to USC, but he went to Oregon, who is a direct competitor for them in the soon-to-be probably defunct Pac-12, but they're a border state of California. And whether they're in the same conference or not in the future, it still doesn't bode well for USC to miss on such a big-time offensive lineman to a direct competitor in a border state like Oregon. Then you had Francis Mayagoa. I might butcher that last name. He's an offensive lineman that ended up going to the University of Miami. Then you had Zachariah Owens, who's an offensive lineman, also a 4-star offensive lineman that went to the University of Clemson. So he's missed out on 3 different high-end offensive linemen. And if you don't get some offensive linemen quick, Lincoln, like I said, you ain't going to have nobody to block for them skill position players. Your quarterback's not going to have time to get it down at the field to those great offensive weapons. It wouldn't matter if you had Joe Montana in the backfield. If you ain't got time to throw the ball, well, then you're not going to get the ball down the field to the wide receivers. You've got to get some offensive linemen, man. Got to. But just want to jump in here real quick and give you guys the good news that you did get another skill position player to go along with the offensive linemen and the defensive players that you've got as well. That's called having a variety and a broad spectrum of recruits that you need in order to be a complete and whole team to compete for national championships. And with that, I'm going to get off of here. But before I do, I'd like to ask you guys and gals to look up underneath this video. There's a little heart option down there by the like, share, and the download options. Just click on that, throw a few dollars in the coffers, get us off this YouTube teat. And with that, KMCA and class is now dismissed.